So I got to ask you, compared to a lot of other stuff that you've done, this is kind of, I imagine you're acting opposite people in these mocap uniforms. Did you find that a bit of a challenge to kind of, the regard that you're supposed to have with Caesar, seeing as how it's such a one-on-one type of thing where you kind of, did you find that difficult, especially with the mocap performance aspect of it?
Yeah, I mean, it takes some getting used to. Like, you're acting with someone who you're supposed to believe is an ape, and they got dots on their face and a mocap camera and the suit, but it doesn't take very long that you just grow accustomed to it, and the acting is so good, and they're so ape-like. I mean, Andy Serkis, one of the greatest actors alive, you just buy it. He's an ape. He's a freaking ape. And all of the actors, the training was rigorous for them, so they really do all their movements, they're really conscientious and great.
Getting into some character stuff, how do you think the Colonel regards Caesar? Do you think he views him as kind of a freak of nature, or do you think that he's afraid of him and truly views him as an equal? What do you think is his take on somebody like Caesar? Because I thought that was interesting about the movie.
I think he comes to respect Caesar, and Caesar goes from enemy number one to someone that he's fascinated by, because his level of intelligence and the fact that he cares so much about his fellow apes and is willing to sacrifice for them. Yeah.
Throughout your career, you've played a wide variety of roles. I know you're playing kind of a mentor figure in the Han Solo movie right now. But in this kind of time, it's funny, I thought initially that you were the villain, but I don't know, would you say that the Colonel even would see himself that way? I mean, I guess nobody sees himself.
No, the Colonel doesn't see himself as the villain. I've never played a villain where I saw myself as the villain, even some evil characters. But no, I think he sees that this is what needs to be done to save humanity.
Do you think that there's kind of an overriding fear that he has amongst his people too in the film? Like, do you think that that's it? It's not that they're angry so much at the apes, is that they're just terrified because they could see themselves disappearing?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. They have to share his vision of what will happen if they don't do what the Colonel asks them to do.
Did you find it hard to kind of keep the character from ever becoming two-dimensional? Because I was amazed at how three-dimensional he was and how kind of deep it was. It was more than just a play on kind of Colonel Kurtz, which I think maybe I assumed it might be wrongly. Did you find it was a lot of work putting into that to make him a real human being, kind of?
I think there's a nod to Kurtz, but I do think, that from the first conversation I had with Matt Reeves is about humanizing the Colonel. I didn't want him to be just a straight black and white kind of evil character, so he was really open to that. So we did some stuff to make that.
Were you a fan of the Planet of the Apes series before seeing this?
I was a big fan of this trilogy.
Yes.
The Rise I was knocked out by, couldn't wait to see the next, and Dawn, oh my God, phenomenal, can't wait to see the next. And then get to be in the next one. This is a lucky life. Human history has led to this moment. The irony is we created you, and nature has been punishing us ever since. This is our last stand. And if we lose, it will be a planet of apes.